In this lesson, I'm going to show you how you can take these 3 simple steps and apply them to any song so that you can start being able to navigate the fretboard more freely with your triads, as well as how you're going to be able to fit licks, double stops into your triad progression, all right? This is the heart of the chord lick chord style, all right? So let's jump into this thing, but have you ever thought, how does my favorite guitar player know how exactly when to put in the right lick, and how does it always sound so good? Guys like John Mayer, Jerry Garcia, anyone that you can think of that you really like, those guys like Guthrie Trapp and stuff like that, right? So these guys know that the chords are the key, all right? The chords are the key to being able to play melodically. Before we jump into the lesson, be sure to download the free tabs and the lesson PDFs. You'll find that link just above or down below in the description. I want you to have all the resources you need to get the most out of this lesson. So we're going to take Althea, the verse chords only, and we're going to learn our triads over the top of them, and that's going to be step 1. All right, so let's take a look at what this progression looks like. So we've got B minor, A, E, A, and then the second time it's B minor, A, E. What we want to be able to do is play these as triads. B minor, A, E, A, right? And we want to be able to do that within the 7th fret up to the 12th fret, and that's what we're going to look at. So we're not going to look at the entire fretboard. We just want to look at what's happening between the 7th and the 12th fret for this, all right? Believe it or not, we can get to all these chords in there as well as our scales. And this is your step 1. Find the progression, map out the triads. So let's take a look at the triads on the first 3 strings first. So we've got B minor, that's out of our E minor shape of B. We've got A, which is like our D shape of an A. E, which is out of our A shape of E, if you know you're caged. I teach all this stuff in my programs as well. And then back to A out of that D shape. So now let's look at our next set of triads off the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. So now we got B minor out of our E minor shape. Right, we've got A, and this one's great for double stops out of our C shape from caged. And then we've got E out of our G shape of caged. Right, or our A shape, however you want to look at it, and then back to A, and then you got B, A, E, right, and then we've got one more spot we'll do this in. All right, we're gonna jump up a little bit, so we're gonna go B minor, A, E, A. So we've got B minor out of our E minor shape, A out of our C shape, E out of our G shape, and then back to A. All right, so you got B minor, A, E, A, and then you got B minor, A, E. So part of step 1 is being able to play these with a backing track so that you can see how they work, all right? So we're going to do each string grouping separately. B minor, A, E, A. B minor, A, next string grouping, B minor, A, E, A, B minor, A, E. Last string grouping, B minor, A, E, A, B minor, A, E. Step 2 is what scales fit in between these said triads, okay? Because we have to know what fits, all right? So just for simplicity's sake and to get the point across, we're going to go B minor pentatonic, all right? With that being said, we know we've got, right? And then we've got, that's shape 1. And then we've got the shape up here. Over the top of these B minor triads that this scale is going to fit. So here's how our pentatonic scale sounds over that progression without really emphasizing too many chord tones. Our next step is really to say, how do we fit the licks in between chords, landing on chord tones, and where do we do that, all right? How do we outline this progression while playing triads to kind of create our own little chord lick chord concept? The first and the easiest concept to get is going through the full progression: B minor, A, E, A, and then a lick, and then B minor, A, E, and then you have 3 beats to put a lick in. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and lick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. That's one concept that we've got going right there, all right? You got to be willing to learn the triads well enough and to see how the pentatonic scale fits underneath them, and to be able to play in time and know how much space you have from one chord to the next so that you can complete your phrase and get back to the next chord. Another thing you can do is you can put little bitty licks in between, especially if you slow it down and really groove with it, right? So you got, now we're going to do triads off of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string, right? So let's take a look at that. You know you have this minor pentatonic right here. So you go B minor, 1, little lick. All I did was do a little double stop lick right off that triad. And then I slid, as I resolve that, up to that C sharp, which is the 3rd of the A. And then I do a double stop here. So I go B minor, slide that up to the 3rd, and then I do keep index and middle there, hammer onto that 11th fret 3rd string while strumming the 3rd and the 2nd string, B and G string. Hammer on, pull off right there. And then I can do a pentatonic back into the root of this triad, which is really one of the cornerstones of a good chord lick chord, or good like melodic phrasing piece when you're playing chords and licks together. So you've got B minor, and then B minor pentatonic. So look what I did there. So the first time I went, this spot's a little easier than the first 3 strings. That's why I'm getting a little bit more in depth here. So you got B minor, and then into the E. And then you have that space that we talked about earlier to put in the lick. And then I make sure I land on the root of that first chord again. 1, 2, same licks. E. When I get to the E, why don't I do a double stop that lands on the 3rd of that E? It's not in the scale of the pentatonic, but it's definitely in the key, overall key that we're in. And it's part of that E major triad that's right here. And this is a cool little thing. I use my fingers, and I bar the 5, and bar 7 and 7 on the B and the E string, and I hammer my ring finger onto the 9th fret of that B string. That outlines the 3rd of that E major. And once again, I'm being really spatially aware of where's the scale, where's the chord tones, and how can I outline these. And then this is kind of cool to go up there, back to that, and then I keep this bar on that 1st string and 2nd string, and I play this little note. I play the 1st string with my middle finger as like a little hybrid pick, and I do a little blue note run, 10 to 9, pull off, and then I land on that root. So that whole thing would be like, and eventually you don't need the chords in the background. You just solo over that, and it should sound like the actual song without even the chords or the licks. Next one was B minor, A, E, right here. What can we do there? So the same principle applies. You can put the licks in the same spots, timing-wise. So you got... So when I'm doing that, you got B minor, A with a little double stop, E, and then there I'm doing this cool little thing where I'm barring 9 and 9 on the D and the G string, and then my ring finger's on that G sharp, that 11th fret of the A string. As soon as I play that, I got these barred already. Do the Hendrix thing. Strum the D and the G string and hammer on the 3rd string 11th fret, on the 3rd string 4th fret, and then land it, and then get back to your chord. So it's like... go 9 and 9 on the D and the G, slide up, right? People always forget that you can do these cool double stop things here, or the B and the E string, the 12th fret. And then that's kind of the idea there, is like, all right, well, let's map out the chords. Step 1, use the triads. Step 2, what scales fit underneath? Step 3, make sure you know where you can add licks in between based off of pentatonics, based on how much time you have in between chord phrases, right? Like where they resolve. These are key concepts you have to keep in mind, all right? One thing you can also do, like pro level guys, will make it sound like they're outlining the entire progression without anybody playing behind them. So one challenge I would give you is, once you get the idea here, try to outline these changes without any backing track, right? Just visualize the triads and the scale around it. And that would sound something like this. So whether you're just getting started with outlining chord progression with triads, or you've been doing it for a while but you've never been able to put the pieces together, I'm hoping this lesson gives you some real insight and solid action steps for you to be able to take the next steps to be able to make the progress you need to make. So let's recap. Step 1, find a chord progression for a popular song or one you already know. Map it out with triads in one little spot of the neck between, in this case we did between the 7th fret and the 12th fret, and play it over the song so you can see how the triads fit in. Step 2, what are the scales that fit underneath this set of triads, and how do they work? Does it sound good? And then step 3, landing on chord tones and where you can put licks in so that they sound nice and resolve nicely for each chord. This requires some listening and understanding how the phrases of whatever song you might be working on works. Now, I explained it in this song, but it would change from song to song. So you got 3 good steps you can take and apply to anything. You can rinse and repeat this concept. Chords and triads, being able to find them over the backing track smoothly and memorize them. Scales over it, and then where do the scales fit and how can I get my phrasing to land properly so that I sound polished and melodic. I hope this lesson helped you out. If it did, please consider liking and subscribing. And don't forget, my all access pass that's been closed for like 6 months is opening up this year. So make sure you get on that VIP waitlist. There are prizes involved here. That link will be in the description below. And don't forget to grab the free PDFs and backing track. I will see you in the next lesson. Thank you for being here.